Hello, hello. Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on.
I can hear Andy, but I can't hear Vicky.
And I can hear you, Karen, but not Vicky.
Our show today, Andy.
Ah, I figured out what the problem was. When I have the printer plugged in, it does something to my speakers. I don't know what it is. I have to, that's
That's an
another little
impressive
gremlin I have
printer.
to sort out one day. And, you know, I'm really good at ortho-bionomy and I'm learning tech. I still have my learner's plates, and you just got to forgive my little, mess ups from time to time. But I
The
tell you what,
minute you learn it, it then gets upgraded and you have to learn it again.
I know. I've just had to get a new computer and all the settings are wrong, which is what was happening yesterday. So for some reason the Zoom settings had gone back to default, which meant that there was no waiting room and then no one could do all the things. So finally got someone to have a look at it and they went, okay, let's get into settings. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, all these things are turned off. Let's turn them all on. Good. So it should be working. Okay. Now, a couple of people have messaged to say they can't make it today because of things. Benny messaged before, going to be a little bit late because he's hosting a meditation. And Lisa has got, Lisa does family daycare. And so she's got a little fella with her today. She does sort of respite for families who are in need. So sometimes she just gets brand new baby and she's got to try and sort it out. And usually, babies that are coming from families that are distressed are distressed. So she's going to do her best to be here. And Nikki, I'm coming. I just have trouble getting in. Blasted internet. Another one. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of a recap this morning on what we've done so far. Aha, here we go. Margaret's in. Well, well. Good morning, Margaret. We'll see you in a minute. You're looking very black today, darling. Hello.
That should be better, I think.
Yeah, that's much better.
And
Welcome.
clean teeth.
Clean teeth, yes. Hair brushed. Goodness gracious.
No, I
What is
brushed
the
the
world
hair.
coming to?
I finger brushed it.
Yep. That's how mine gets brushed as well. It's great.
I thought I made it.
That's the joy of short hair.
It is, yes. Gladys is
Tempted.
requesting to record. Yes, we will start recording. Yes. So, so there are a couple of other people coming, which would be great because it's always better to be here live than to do the recordings. Because when you're here live, you can ask questions, you can interact, you can get feedback. It's just such a more personal experience. So, welcome to day 3. So today we start to get into the meat of what we're going to be doing this week. And so first of all, I'd like to just take us back on a little ride of where we've come so far. And firstly, I got all of your replies to the survey. Fantastic information. And you have absolutely reinforced the research that's been done. And I want to try and get to that. Let me see if I can find, let me see if I can move that thing out of the way. And go that. And move us this way a little bit. Look at that. I'm so clever. So when we first started, we were talking about how notifications. So what's happening, Gladys? Okay. She sent me something. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Nikki, Nikki's coming. She's having trouble getting in. Okay. Kerry. She's going to have to catch up later. Okay. So good. So let me see if I can share screen. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. We go to here. Oh, and do a full screen. I can find out how to do that. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is where we started on day one. We're talking about how we got here with old injuries. You know, I was fascinated when I was reading through everyone's list of injuries. I expected, you know, broke this, fell there. People were so generous with information. And, you know, what really came to mind is that our lives are complicated and rich. And as a result, we have lots of complicated injuries. And one injury, you know, when we're young, we bounce, we get over it. But as we get older, those compounding injuries, and then we get similar. It's interesting how we seem to injure similar parts over and over again. And I'm sure there's a whole research thing on that. We're not even going to go there. But those old injuries, when we start re-injuring them, they start to get all sorts of difficulties. And that's when a lot of the weaknesses and imbalances really show up, because those old injuries they're challenging. You know, they don't always heal exactly right. And then we accommodate them. And then, of course, we've got just general living stress. That's what we do. And that also compounds. Now I've got to figure out how to go to the next page. Here we go. Okay. Oh, look at me, learning all the time. And so
Like too soon.
I know I'm bound to fall on my face any minute. And what seems to be happening with a lot of us, and I don't know if this is you, but it was certainly me. And no, having been a nurse for 54 years, a registered nurse for 50 years, and also working in the alternative health space for 27 years, I have seen this sort of system work over and over again. People get stuck into the system. They go see the doctor, they start getting x-rays, then they're having blood tests, then they're getting sent off they have medication, they get sent off to go see a specialist or a physiotherapist, and they're running around getting all these tests done, all these things done, and quite often getting diagnoses, but not necessarily answers. No one's really getting to the root cause of the problem, not able to help them see where the problem is and really solve it. And we just feel trapped. We think, I'm doing all the right things. I'm taking all the medication. I'm doing all the appointments. Gladys, to accept a Fathom recorder. Oh, where are you, Gladys? Make a request to accept the Fathom recorder. Yes, that would be really great. Okay, let me see. Just one moment. I did speak too soon. Just one moment. A second. See if I'll just stop sharing for a tick. You don't have to see all my rubbish in the background. Okay. Oops, I can't do that. Okay, let's do this. No, that makes it bigger. Let's go smaller. So where are you, Gladys? This computer has taken my WhatsApp off. Gladys. No. Okay, may I request to accept? I'll just say yes, please. I don't know how to give her access from here. Okay, now I've got to try and get back to where I was. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, look at that. Okay, now share screen again. So Gladys, did that work? Have you been able to get Fathom to work?
Hello, Vicky. Good morning. I was not able to still let the Fathom on. May I request you to please click on the
You know,
request?
I should have put it in waiting room. Instead, I clicked it off. So let me see. How can I get Fathom back? Because Fathom's really good because I can share the video straight away.
Yeah.
You know what? No, that's going to be a pain.
You might have to cancel and ask again. Sometimes you'll
Yeah,
have to
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
like
thinking. I might have
reboot.
to knock you all off and start again. Anybody else got a better suggestion? Apps. Oh, here we go. Actually, I can ask it from apps because I usually have Fathom Note Taker. There we go. And now I might be able to Fathom in the waiting room. All right. So is Fathom working?
I'm gonna try it again.
Well, it
Okay,
should be
there we go.
there. So I've just
Yeah.
opened it in apps, in Zoom apps.
Okay. What about this time, Vicky? Can you see the Fathom invite?
And so I've got. It actually looks like it's recording.
Okay. Wait a second. I'm gonna add another one.
So where will I be looking for it,
Okay.
Gladys?
How about this time? Can you see it this time?
Well, here it looks like it's recording on
All
my
right. So
side.
if it is recording on your side, we're just gonna continue. But here in the participants, the Fathom recorder isn't in.
Okay, so you're
Oh,
trying
would
to
you?
use the Fathom on your side.
All right. Would you
Is
like
that
to
right?
also use? All right. Yeah. Would you like to also use the recording on Zoom?
The trouble with Zoom is it's really hard to share. We'd have to put it into YouTube first
Mm.
because it's too big.
What about
I'm
on
sh-
your side right now? Like, is Fathom recording on your side right now?
It looks like it's recording on this side.
All right. So we're just gonna go on to that since the Fathom recorder isn't joining the
No, you're
Zoom
right.
this
It
time.
hasn't joined the meeting. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. Okay, let's go back to your original suggestion. How do I get to your request to open Fathom? Because I don't have, on my new computer, I don't have WhatsApp down the bottom.
All right. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try to add the link again to Fathom. We'll just try it this time.
So where will I see it?
Oh, wait a
I just Googled it. It
Okay.
said in
Yeah.
your Zoom, there should be an apps icon and Fathom will be within that apps
Yeah, that's
icon.
what I opened. I opened the app. That's how I normally do
Okay.
it. And
Yeah.
it opens up naturally. I turned it off because it had been recording Gladys and I getting stuff together, and you guys don't want to hear that. And so I turned it off. And then when I opened it again, I instead of putting Fathom in the waiting room, I actually clicked the X button. I did speak too soon, didn't I? And so now I've gone into apps and invited it again, but it didn't come in. It didn't start. It looked like it was recording, but it was just going round and round in circles. So now Gladys is trying to open it in her thingy, and she needs my approval, but I can't see where she is.
It says here it is also processing.
What's that?
The Zoom meeting is also processing on my end. So yeah, the recording. Vicky, do you
Can
have
you
any
go in?
Fathom?
Can you go into apps and start Fathom on your side? Because you're co-host.
Yeah.
See
I
if
was
that
able
works.
to.
Hi, Jeanette. We're having some tech difficulties, darling. Jeanette knows me well.
What's new, I was going to say.
And I just said, look at me, all this tech and I'm doing so well, and then straight on my face.
Well, you shouldn't say it.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So I've just opened Fathom again in apps here, and it's still thinking. It's thinking. All right, so our other option is just to use the recording on
On Zoom.
the Zoom recording, and then upload. We'll have to edit all this rubbish out and
All right.
upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
If we can't do anything else, that's the best we can do.
Yeah. As of
We
this time,
don't
we can do
want to
that
hold
one.
everybody up any longer.
All right.
Yeah. All
right.
right.
Thank
Now
you,
let me
Vicki.
see if I can go back to sharing my slides. Where are they gone? Here they are. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious me. What is happening? Where? Oh.
Vicky, you might be able to mute her from your end.
Yeah, I can, but I'm trying to get back to my slides.
Huh.
Where have they gone? Hi, Nikki. We're just having some tech issues. No, that's not the slide I want. What are you doing? Oh my goodness gracious me. It's sharing everything except what I want. Be careful not to do that again. Requested you to allow multiple presenters. Okay. Okay, let's see if there we go. Is that you, Gladys? Have you got the slide up for me? Or is
Yes,
that me?
Vicki?
Okay, thank you, darling.
All
You're
right.
a lifesaver. Let's
All
get
right,
back
thank
to
you,
where we
Vicki.
were. So a lot of us have become a product of the system, and it's a really good system. It really supports the whole medical fraternity extremely well. We go round and round in circles, spending lots of money and time getting things done, and then we don't get very far. We get frustrated, and quite often we get blamed for the results that we are and aren't getting. So, we start to feel bad because we can't work as hard as we want to. We're not functioning as well as we want to. A lot of women, in fact, feel really guilty because they're stuck at home and they can't work. They've got all sorts of issues, and it becomes quite overwhelming. Gladys, can you move to the next slide? Oh, actually, I can't see the slides. I really need to know what's the next slide. I can't remember. Oh, okay, let's go back. And so, yes, so
I can't see the slides either, by the way. I'm just seeing
no
like
one
a...
can see the slides.
Yeah.
I
I
can
can
see
see
the
the
slides, but no. So who can see them and who can't see them?
Oh, so
Andy,
it's just me. Yeah, okay, that's weird. I'm just seeing like a browser bar with like the top of the page. So I'll try moving it to another screen, see if that fixes it. No,
okay.
still the same thing.
Okay.
Quite
So
strange.
everyone
all
else
right.
can see?
Yeah, if everyone else can see it,
Everyone else. Okay. So
don't worry about
Andy,
it on my
I'm
behalf.
glad you're having tech difficulties. I don't feel so bad now. So, we get inflammation, and as we get older, that inflammation starts to catch up with us. And we start getting difficulties with our joints, with our tendons, with pain and swelling, and the whole kit and caboodle. Next slide. Thanks, Gladys. This is it. It's sort of like this domino effect. When we're 40, we start to feel it, most of us. Some unfortunate people start to feel it in their 20s, but most of us in our 40s, we start to feel that little bit of stiffness, that little bit of joint stuff. We just don't feel quite as easy at doing things or quite as strong as we were when we were in our 20s. And unless we find out what the cause is and we get to the root of everything, we're just on a bit of a roundabout. Next slide. And that's what we just said. You need to be able to find the root cause, and that's what we're going to do today. Next slide. Now, most people get told, you've got this diagnosis, this is what it is, these are the medications you need to do, but we don't get told how to unwind all that stuff that's happening to us. And so what I offer you is a pathway so that you can start to find your way through all of these sort of landmines that are put in front of you. Is the next slide a picture slide, Gladys? Yes. Okay. And this is the pathway. So we did a little bit of rest and repair yesterday, and today we're going to start looking at some of the healing home practices. And we're going to touch slightly on body wisdom. And Margaret, I really congratulate you on coming in today after your terribly frustrating day yesterday, and it was all my fault. The computer had crazy settings. And so, Margaret, just briefly, tell us a little bit about your journey, because Margaret's been a client of mine since 2012. And so tell us just briefly how you got to, how you found my work in the practice, and now you're working with me online, and the difference and what you've noticed and how it's working for you.
Well, I found you through a View Club presentation where you came and taught us square breathing. And then I decided that since physios and just were useless, doctors weren't much better, because my shoulders were they weren't operational, particularly my right shoulder. So I found Vicki, and it took a while, but she's very patient and really knows her stuff. And she managed to get my very tight muscles to relax. They're still tight, but they do relax now a bit. And she basically fixed my shoulder. It became, because I wasn't able to, dreadful, push the vacuum cleaner. That was tragic. Push the shopping trolley, but I also couldn't canoe, and I really couldn't do anything much like garden. So she sorted my shoulder out, and I've had, pretty well since then, I've been able to keep my shoulder functional and not overdo it. I'm very slack about doing exercises, so they didn't really help much, but I've certainly been square breathing. That's something that's come through. And neck releases. And just a couple of her tricks have kept me going pretty well through making a new garden, a big one, keeping it in order. But just this last 6 months or so, I guess, the shoulder is I'm losing the battle. So I'm back. I'm so pleased she's online. She's teaching me all sorts of things I can do to help my muscles relax so that I can use them again. I'm probably not, I wouldn't be the star pupil here because I'm very slack, but I'm even doing regular self-care, which is, that's a big one. I'm using square breathing quite a lot. since it helps me sleep and generally feel better. And yeah, this is good. It's different to being in the studio. It's different to the hands-on, because Vicki really does have very magic hands. But it still works, and I can do it myself. I feel a bit like a 2-year-old saying that. I do it myself, but it works, and I'm finding it's helping a lot. When my shoulder is complaining, I can calm it down, and that's really good.
Excellent. So, yeah, we've been working online for about 6 weeks?
Something like that.
Yeah, so there was a big hiatus. I moved north, Margaret moved south. So instead of us being an hour apart, we were like, 3.5 hours apart, which just wasn't going to work.
No.
And so, yeah, it's great. It's great to have you back, Margaret. And I'm really pleased that you're getting the results and that the self-care is working. So congratulations.
Yeah, working, and we're gradually working our way down the body.
Yes, and that's the other interesting thing. When we have an area that's causing us problem, we don't realise that it's actually got a ripple effect all the way down the system. And it's only when we start to sort out one issue that another issue starts to turn up. I don't know how many times I've had people in the practice and they say, "Oh, you fixed my hips, but now my knee's buggered." And I said, yeah, well, your knee was, remember the first time you came, I was asking you questions about your knees. And yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's okay. Well, now your hips are good. Your knee is able to have a voice, because the nervous system is, it's very singular, and it can't deal with a whole lot of new problems at once. And so it does one problem really well, and then when that gets sorted, it goes, okay, next, and it'll speak up. And so thank you, Margaret. I really appreciate you coming on today, because I wasn't expecting you to. I thought you were so frustrated yesterday. I thought, I'm going to have to do a big apology when we catch up this week. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's all right. I was determined. I cleaned up my end of the act.
Okay. And so I've been doing this work for 27 years, as I said, and the reason I got here is because I was injured. I had neck injuries, which caused shoulder injuries, and then I couldn't use my hands, and I got dismissed from nursing, which was just shocking, because I had never had any other desire in the world except to be a nurse. And suddenly I was a single mum with a teenager who was a very big appetite and no income and absolutely no idea what I was going to do. And that's when Ortho-Bionomy was introduced to me. And I just immediately, because I'd been getting remedial work, which was incredibly painful, and for every fortnight for 10 years. And so when I was introduced to Ortho-Bionomy by an osteopath who did this really gentle work, and I'm thinking, how's this going to work? Because I was nearly falling asleep on the table. And within 3 sessions, I had 50% of my hand movement back. And I went, okay, you have got my attention. And because I was looking at redundancy, I went, I want to know what she's doing. So I went and found out, started in a very basic class, and fell in love immediately and signed up for the 5 years. And so I've been learning Ortho-Bionomy for those 27 years. I'm constantly learning. And I tell you this because I know if we don't get coaching to show us what to do, show us what the next step is, we just keep repeating the same steps over and over. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to progress. Find your way out of whatever it is that's causing the difficulty, so that you can start to become much more productive and empowered. Because as Margaret said, now she knows how to fix things, and she does have one of those chronically tight bodies. You know, she's one of those people that I have to work a lot harder to get Margaret's body to relax, but slowly but surely she's starting to understand how to do it for herself. And she's been, a very high-powered person, very high up in Scouts and Girl Guides, and very active lifestyle, as she said. Canoeing in her garden is just amazing, like incredible. And so, yes, for her to be able to live the life she wants is just a blessing. And so we're going to do a couple of little exercises. Jeanette, are you okay to stay a little bit longer? I wasn't expecting Margaret to turn up today, so that's okay. Thank you so much. So we're going to be learning a couple of principles of ortho-bionomy first, because most people have been used to the philosophy, if it's tight, stretch it. If it's not working, you got to work it harder. Ortho-bionomy throws all of that away. So the way ortho-bionomy works is if it's tight, we're going to relax it. So let's just have a little practice. And so we're going to start with something really simple. Let's just turn your head one way, turn your head the other way. Which one's easier? When you've got an easy way, put your hand up so I know you've got an easy way. So you're going to turn toward your easy way. So what's this way? You're going to turn towards your easy way. Now come back to 50%. So not all the way back, slowly start to come back to where it's really easy. So you could have, so Andy, you're working way too hard. I can see your neck muscles working. I sort of expected you'd be my hard worker because, you know, you're a bit of a mountain climber. Yeah, that looks better. Your neck muscles have softened. Karen, you look nice and comfy. Now we're going to sit here and we're going to breathe for around about 20 or 30 seconds. Just allow your body to relax into that position. Let your shoulders relax down. Let your head relax onto your shoulders. Feel yourself into your pelvis. Allow your neck and shoulders to just melt like ice cream into your pelvis. And when there's that slightly deeper breath, or a yawn, or a sigh, or a tummy grumble, or whatever it is for you that lets you know that you've had a little bit of a nervous system relax, turn to the other side, and we're just going to do that now. Turn to the other side and check to see if it's still as tight as it was before. Come back to the middle for me. Does anybody notice a little bit of a change? Not sure? Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is because this is super, super simple stuff. This is kindergarten stuff. You know, there's lots more advanced, but you guys have all got really complex issues. I don't want to send you into anything more difficult than what you're already dealing with. So let's turn your head to that easy side again. And now you're going to place so Karen, you can back off a little bit. That's better. That looks more relaxed. Yeah. You're going to place your hand, so the ear that's facing forward, you're going to place your opposite hand just above your ear. Yep, that's it. That's it. Yep. Place it just above your ear. Yep. And now, so place it nice and flat on your head. So yep, that's it. And now with about 20% of your strength, you're going to start to turn towards that hand. Your hand is stopping you from moving. So it's just a little bit of resistance as you start to try to turn. You might find that there's a yawn or a sigh or not. Now let go and continue the movement. Continue moving in the direction you were going before. Is that a little bit, oops, it got you in the shoulder, Karen. Yes, Andy's got the release. All right, so Karen, unmute yourself. Tell me what's going on.
I get like a spasm in that real tight spot, and yeah.
So is it here or is it further down?
There, can you see that?
In between your shoulder blades.
Yeah, slightly kind of like just on the very edge of that right shoulder blade.
Okay.
It's a solid spot for me.
Okay, we're going to try something really simple and see how it goes. All right, I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit. So are you on a chair with a back? Is it a really high back or no? Oh, it's way up there. Okay, so you're going to have to wrap your arm around. I can take my hand over the back. So just wrap your arm around it as best you can. Okay, and now just put your hand on your breastbone and start to move your breastbone away from that shoulder. That's it. Can you feel that little hard spot in the back of your shoulder? We're just going to take a couple of breaths there. And now let go and come back to the front and pop your microphone on down so I can hear you. Just move around, move those shoulder blades.
It's still tight, but it is looser.
Yes. So you can do that little movement. Just so as you've got your, it's a bit hard to see with my green shirt and my black chair. But you'll just allow yourself to lean forward a little bit so that you got a little bit of traction, not a lot. And then gently turn yourself away from that spot. Just to the point where it feels comfy, because what we're looking for is the yummy spot. Okay, now move it a little bit.
Yeah.
That looks a bit freer from here. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yep. All right. So we're going to try another couple of things, just basically because Karen's got a lot of stuff that carries down into her shoulders and we don't want to stir that up. So we're going to take one shoulder up, take the other shoulder up. Which one's easier?
Actually, the sorer one.
Yeah. So you're going to take whichever shoulder's easy. We're going to take it up and we're going to hold it there. And my body's really well trained. I yawn really quickly. Fantastic. You get extra points. Thank you, Nikki. You get extra points as well for yawning. Okay, and now drop that shoulder down. Move them around. Test again. Sometimes it's a change, sometimes it isn't. So we're going to take the same one up, but this time we're going to pop your other hand under your elbow and just prop it up. And now gently trying to slide your shoulder blade backwards and down towards your waist at the same time that you're pushing gently down through your elbow so that all the muscles underneath the shoulder blade, under the lats, start to gently, gently compress. Now release and let go. Now see how that shoulder works. Is it better than? Yes. Okay. So as I said, this is preschool, kindergarten level. It's really simple stuff. And so great. Nikki's got the yawns. She gets the extra points. Congratulations. And thank you. So Nikki's been to one of my challenges before. So nice to see you back. So that's an isometric. And these are the types of self-care exercises that you'll learn as we move on. Okay, let's do one more neck because everyone here's got something going on with their neck. So we've done the sideways. Let's do head down, head up. Which one's easier? Head up is easier for you, Karen?
No, I can't go very far back.
No, that's okay.
vertebrae.
That's good.
Yeah.
We need to know that.
The eyes are going up, but the head's not.
You're going to give yourself whiplash. Slow it down. He goes, oh, yeah, so what? That's happened before. So, Karen, you're going to let your head come down. So is anybody else like their head down better? Nikki's still yawning. Fantastic. Andy, you like your head back. Again. All right. You're going to wait a moment because we're going to do head down first. So head down. We're not going to take it all the way down so you feel the strain here. We're just going to take your head down so it's comfy like you were reading your phone. You're going to pop your hand on the back of your head. So your little finger is going to be around about where your crown is and your thumb is going to be around about where that bumpy part is on the back of your head. And now if you can imagine a line from your jaw through your ear to where your thumb is, that's a seesaw, and underneath your ear is the pivot point of the seesaw. So you're going to try and pivot underneath your ear, and you're trying to imagine that you're coming up, you're unnodding, but you're not going nod, nod, nod. It's just one smooth movement. Your hand is stopping you from moving. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then let go and see if that's a little bit easier. Yep, Nikki looks very relieved. Eyes are wide open. Yeah. How are you going, Karen? You can go back further.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still
Okay.
worried about that vertebrae, but yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to go, you don't have to test it to the limit. You just go to where it's comfy. All right, Andy. So you're better going back. Okay. So we're not going to give ourselves another whiplash by tearing our head back. Okay. So you're going to put your fingers here underneath your ears, in between your jaw and your ear, and you're going to slowly go backwards until it starts to slow down, which is round about there. Stop, round about there. Pop one hand on your forehead, and now imagine that line between your ear and your jaw, and that's your seesaw, and you're starting to try and come forward from the top of your head, not from your neck. So top of your head is trying to come forward for 7 seconds, and then release and continue.
Stop yawning.
7 seconds, yep, release and continue. And is it a little bit easier going forward now?
Oh, way
Yeah.
easier. Way
Yeah.
easier.
Isn't this amazing? It's as I said, these are kindergarten level. These are really, really simple self-care. They're part of the first things that I teach you when you come into the program is how to do these simple releases. And what I find fascinating is, well, I shouldn't find it fascinating. I love it. Is that people, they get so much benefit from them, and they're so easy. You can do them at your desk. You can do them while you're on the phone. You can do them between sips of coffee. You can do them at traffic lights. People start to implement them into their daily life. Now, I was talking to one of my clients last night, and she came to me after 6 months of daily chiropractic work for her lower back. I hate to imagine. She was in so much pain. Our first appointment, she rang me, she texted me and said, I'm in so much pain, I'm going to have to cancel tonight's appointment because I can't, I just can't do it. I'll be with you in a minute, Nikki. And so I texted her back and said, listen, I've got you. Let's get you right. Within 45 minutes, she was standing up, she was walking around, she was smiling. It's like simple stuff. And so we're doing a follow-up this week. And I said, so which self-care is working for you? Where are we up to? What's our next step? And she said, it's really interesting. She said, I go outside to get a little bit of sunshine, and because she works all day at a home office, she said, I just went outside to get a bit of sunshine. And she said, all of a sudden I realized I was doing one of the self-care exercises, which is called sciatic curtsy. She said, I just automatically start doing it as soon as my feet hit the grass. It's like, I went, fantastic. I love it. There's simple little things that you can just put into your day, any day, every day. Jeanette, I'm going to get to you in a tick. Nikki, is your arm still cold? Have you got any tingling? Okay, which arm is it?
Thumbs. But I had migraine yesterday, so my system is probably overly sensitive at the moment.
Okay.
Yes, no, both arms are getting very cool. But you said to me it's just often a release from.
It can be.
Yeah,
it can be.
It's like when I was at the osteopath, used to go to the osteopath, and he'd work on me, and after he'd worked on me, I was freezing. So it doesn't surprise me. I'm just letting you know that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
my suggestion is that you just start slowing your breath down, slowing your in-breath and making your out-breath really long, and seeing if you can allow that old trauma, or whatever we want to call it, that old injury, just allow it the space, but try not to get too emotionally involved with it. Just keep the breathing going, because when we calm our breathing down, lets our nervous system know that we're safe and we're okay, and it helps us work through any of those things much, much quicker. And we don't get upset. It's a good thing. So Jeanette's been working with me. How long has it been, Jeanette?
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got to be here and what we've been doing.
So I met Vicki through a friend. I had seen her amazing results in person, and then another friend of ours sort of put Vicki and I together because I wasn't wanting another program. I just finished paying for a program that I'd done beforehand, which had worked, but not. I hadn't had great results. And I also had to pay for aftercare. So I was already paying off that program, so I couldn't do that as well. So anyway, I was sort of pushed together with Vicki, but she was doing a 5-day workshop like this. So I said, why not? I might as well just, it's free. I'll do it. So after the first day, I knew straight away that Vicki was the right person for me. Just so caring and just so gentle and so passionate as well, but also very trying to think of the word, patient as well. I was in a bad way. I got osteoarthritis in my lower back. I had at the time herniated disc in my lower back as well. I was having a lot of sciatica. I had sciatica as well. My knees, I have osteoarthritis in both knees, and I had lost my mobility gradually because I also was told I needed a hip replacement and a knee replacement on the right-hand side. And when I met Vicki, so I started her program, and just a little, like you're doing now, all the things to start, the 5-day workshop, she reduced my pain by a lot in that 5 days. So I ended up doing a program. So the best decision I ever made. So at the time, I was told by the surgeons that I couldn't have surgery until I lost weight as well. So I bucked the system and so totally against it all, and like I do. I'd spent a lot of time and supplements and programs and trying to avoid the surgery. So I sort of ended up, with Vicki's help, not only did she help me through that 12 weeks I did get some of my mobility back, but my pain levels, I was on pain medication when I met her. I'm not on any pain medication now. So I do her little movements, her exercises that she's still to this day, which I know I've just had surgery at the moment, just had my gallbladder out, and we were only talking the other night, and I said, I haven't done my exercises, and because I was worried about, the middle section, I was worried about doing them, and she was helping me with, how to do them gently and just listen to my body and that. So I do feel it in my body at the moment because I haven't done my exercises properly for a few weeks. So I had never, in that 18 months, gone away from, I hadn't even, maybe a couple of days at a time, but I was very, very consistent with my exercises, which I did in bed every morning before I get up, and implement them during the day as well. But so we got through the 12-week program. My pain levels were reduced a lot. And then about a year ago, just over a year ago, she also helped me with some tips and recipes, all sorts of stuff with weight loss. So I finally gave in and decided to I wanted my life back and lost, I had to lose 22 kilos to have the surgery. So in that 6 months, probably, I lost 20 of that 22 kilos. And at that end of that last year, was told I could have the surgery. So I was still waiting at the moment. I've had a few health issues come up that I've been put off surgery for the time being. But I am still on the list for that hip replacement surgery. So, but my mobility is a lot better. When I met Vicki, I only lived about 15 minutes from Vicki, and I was in that bad a way. I couldn't even drive to her, hardly. I think I went to 2 sessions, didn't I? But everything was done online because I couldn't even get in the car to drive to her. I was in so much pain. So I couldn't even sit like this at a desk, you know, like in an office at that stage for very long. So I wanted to get back to, I was swimming before all of this, and I was doing 22, 24 laps in an hour sort of thing. And I wanted to try and get back to the pool. So Vicki, we decided to meet at the pool this morning. Well, I was in so much pain. She saw me, and we were trying to, I was having such bad sciatica that even the movement of the water, they were doing classes. There was a lot of people in the pool, in the therapy pool, and I was in so much pain. I was in like level 10 pain. I couldn't handle the water touching me even. So we gave that up. It took about a year later, it was probably late last year, I started swimming again. So I can actually do laps. I get in and out of the pool. I've got my mobility is back enough that I can actually get in and out of off ladder of a pool. And so I started swimming again. So, which was amazing, which I never thought was going to happen for a long time.
Yeah. You got your hope back, Jeanette.
I did, and it's changed my life in so many ways. You know, there's things I'm doing now that are rollerballing from all the mindset changes, and that's what Vicki helped me with, was changing my mindset, and helping me to realise that I needed to get my life back. Like I'm a determined person anyway, and never give up. But she's helped guide me through all this, and to other things I'm doing now that I would never have thought I would be doing now. That it wasn't for Vicki. Yeah. So a coach, I've learned a lot from coaching. Is so important. In every aspect of your life. Yeah. Just helps you. The guide. You've got to have. You've got to have that guide. Yeah.
Yeah. And because healing's not a straight line.
No.
There's always dips and curves.
Yeah.
And we've had a few. We've had a few of them. But I've labelled Jeanette Mrs. Consistency.
Which I wasn't before this. I was not a consistent person. I've learned a lot.
And I love the way she, I have, so in the 12-week program, I offer one-on-one support and unlimited support. So if you get into strife, just have to send me a text message and I'm there as quickly as I can to help you out. But then we have the inner circle for those people who have been in the program, and we meet once a week and we just go deeper. We can go, because everyone's done the program, I can go much, much deeper with everything. And I just love seeing everybody's realizations as they start to understand how much their body is trying to support them. Yeah. And we fight it. Oh my goodness. We fight our body. We try to tell it it's wrong. We try to say, no, you're tight there. I've got to try and stretch you. And instead of going, oh, you're tight there, darling. Let's just see what happens if we give you a little hug. Let's do that and see what happens next. And just learning how to be respectful, kind, and compassionate with our own body it's one of the things was taken away. I don't know why we decided that we had to push and pull and shove, and everything that was healing had to hurt in some way. It was very interesting. But Ortho-Bionomy is bringing back the care and compassion in the healthcare system, but also within your own self, so that we can grow and get supported. And once you learn it, like Jeanette was saying, they're skills that you just can't forget. And I often say to people, teach this to your grandkids, for goodness sakes. Like, really. It's not rocket science. In fact, Arthur Lincoln Pauls, who was the osteopath who put Ortho-Bionomy together, in the last couple of years of his life, who was living in Europe, he started teaching 7-year-olds how to do this work. And he's actually written in one of his books that 7-year-olds make the best practitioners. And one of his senior practitioners wanted to know, why is this so? And he said, because they're not attached to the outcome. They just do what's needed. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, okay, what's next? And that's basically how our body is designed. It is designed to try something. If that didn't work, okay, what's next? What am I going to do now? And so that's the philosophy that I work with, and it's what I encourage all my clients to start to play with. And sometimes we get to that point where we just don't know what next, and that's when we need someone to guide us. And I love the way our body is all connected. And so, I had somebody put in a question last night about someone who had plantar fasciitis, which has nothing to do with neck and shoulders, I know, but and my answer was, I find plantar fasciitis is often a pelvis that's misaligned, or some tight muscles, postural, and a couple of other things that I put in the message. And they came back and said, "Oh, he's a construction worker," and I said, "And steel-cap boots." Oh, core. Your core is another main contributor. And so, all of those things, they all fit together. And quite often we forget that we are one continuous loop. We've been taught, oh, you've got your brain, you've got your circulation, and you've got your digestive system, and you've got your muscles, and you've got your bones, and you've got your joints. But we are one continuous loop. And so learning how to work with that, how to work with what's easy, is just so powerful. So before we go today, let's see if there's one other small thing that we can do. Is there anybody who's got another pain? And so, Benny, you've come in late. Is there anything that I can show for you that would alleviate any tension in between your shoulder blades or in your neck?
First off, I would like to thank you for it's wonderful. Right. So much.
Pleasure.
And
A pleasure.
feeling pretty darn good, but the energy here feels really good. Every once in a while, I'm
Oh, you got rib stuff going on? Okay. Your sound is really patchy, mate. I think it might be your headphones. You're breaking up. I'm only getting about every third word. I'm gathering it's your ribs and when you rotate.
I'm sorry. My bad.
So quite often when we've got shoulder issues, we do have stuff going on in our ribs. And so let's do that. Let's turn one way. Let's turn the other way. Which way is easier? Slowly, Andy, slowly. I don't know if you've ever been on a corrugated road.
I don't do anything slowly.
Oh, you are going to, I tell you. Have you got corrugated roads in New Zealand?
Yeah, we do.
Good. Okay. So you know that if you drive over a corrugated road quickly, you can avoid the bumps. If you go slowly, you can feel all the bumps. We need to feel all the bumps, okay? Because the bumps are the messages. The bumps are what the body's trying to tell us. So turn slowly one way, turn slowly the other way. And sometimes it's not even in the shoulders that you feel it. You might feel it in your lower back. You might feel it in your neck. But whichever way feels like there's more ease is the way you're going to turn. Okay, so you're going to turn to your easy side, place both hands on the leg of the side that you're turning, and just use them as an anchor, and then gently try to rotate from the breastbone, not from the shoulders, but from the breastbone. You're going to try to rotate toward the other side until you get a yawn or a sigh or a release, and then let go and see if that's easier. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So we've learned a neck release, we've learned an upper shoulder release, and we've learned a rib release. And so tomorrow we're going to go a little deeper, learn a little bit more. And have any questions before we go?
Just a quick one. I'm sorry, go. I've now got a bit of pain across the top there. Which one of those ones would be best for that? Is that going to be the up to my ear one?
So that one is more bringing your arm in front of you. So just bring your elbow up in front, and so not pulling it. We're not doing the pull. We're doing supporting the elbow. And if you can get this other arm and really hook it into your ribs. So ladies, we usually got to get around our boobs. Yes, I just got to move the furniture so that you've got to, so it's just resting there, and then gently allow that shoulder blade to slide down. And very gently allow a little bit of pressure from the shoulder blade, not from the shoulder, but from the shoulder blade to bring the elbow down towards your hand. So it's only around about 10% of what you know you can do. Now let go and see how that is. Is that a little bit easier? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I have got this many releases. I'm not going to confound you with all of that, but each muscle, each joint has specific little things that it loves to do and doesn't love to do, and ways of releasing. And so as your body starts to unwind, you'll find more and more little pieces that need that special attention, and there's no way you can figure it out for yourself. Like, I'd been trying for 10 years. I had not figured it out. I'd had massage, I'd had acupuncture, I'd had dry needling, I'd had the cups, been doing yoga, I'd done meditation, I'd done breath work. I mean, I couldn't even list all the things. I tried homeopathy. I tried so much stuff, herbs, essential oils, and I was still a mess. And it wasn't until I found Ortho-Bionomy that everything just sort of started to make sense, and my body just went, oh, thank goodness, Mum. Yeah, been trying to tell you about this for years. Finally taking some notice. So, and I want to thank everybody for filling out the surveys. Oh my goodness, the information that we got in there was incredible. And I'll talk about it tomorrow, but you have absolutely reinforced the research. Your stats are almost exactly the same as some research. And because I couldn't get the slides up today, I like to be able to give you accurate stuff, and I'd be giving you sort of a roundabout stats. But yeah, there's some research that's been done by the National Institute of Health in Australia, and your survey results were almost exactly the results of the Australian Health research. So thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to helping you get better, improve your life, get more energy. Like, when your neck and shoulders are crook, it's just amazing how tired you get. So get that energy back, get your zest back. Quick question. Okay, Benny, is your headphones working now?
Yes, it's better, right? My microphone wasn't plugged in correctly. I have another computer, that I was using. But anyway, so thank you for mentioning that.
That's okay.
Yeah. So two things. Like, one, I definitely noticed that. So you're doing the opposite. So if I had pain on this rib, then I'm doing, and it doesn't hurt me as much on this side.
Okay, I'll tell you the simple
version. The opposite
version.
Side.
Because you're a thinker. You're trying to make it logical. Okay, I'll give you the very simple version that requires no logic and no memory. This is why 7-year-olds are so good at it. You go where it's easy.
Right.
You do what's easy.
Makes sense.
Sometimes it's a twist. Sometimes it's a bend. Sometimes it's a twist and a bend. Sometimes it's whatever is easy. So if something is short, we shorten it and allow the blood to come back into the area. Because when it's tight, because we're a hydraulic system, when it's tight, the fluids can't move, and so you get all that stagnation and all the byproducts of cellular work get stuck in the joints and in the tissues, and they cause aggravation. So by working with ease and then just resting in ease, it's absolutely amazing. And as I said on the first day or the second day, those ladies who came into my 5-day challenge last time, and they had so much pain that they hadn't been able to sleep for months. And I just spent that time with them, figured out how to rest that arm so that they didn't have to do anything. And I just said, you're not doing anything now. You're just going to watch and you're just going to rest. And both of them slept well that night, and they hadn't slept well for months. And so respect your body. Listen to it. It's actually much, much wiser than we give it credit for. And it's full of so much wisdom and so many intrigues and so many mysteries. And it's kept me interested for all this time. And I must say, I get bored quite easily. So keeping me interested in one modality for 27 years is
wow,
pretty good. And the thing is, I'm getting more and more and more and more excited. Like I'm not less excited. I'm more passionate. And now that I've found that I can do this online, it's like, oh wow, there's a whole new set of people who really need to know this work that have never been exposed. So that's my passion. That's my mission. That's what I'm on. And it's a great drug. Highly recommend it.
Vicki, what was for the below the lat, the rhombosis, the hard to reach area behind the lat?
Oh, the rhomboids.
Yeah, because I had a problem with this one.
That's going over the back of a chair.
Yes.
And just allowing yourself to fall forward and then gently moving away. So we're in the program. I give you all your notes. You get all the recordings. And so you can go and look at them over and over and over again. Plus, you've got contact with me. Plus, we have the once a week where we all get together and we can work on things that are you can say, Vicki, can we please work on such and such this week? We can do that. So what I love is that we get right to the root cause and sort it out. Because if it keeps coming back, it hasn't been sorted. You've just taken the cream off the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us the homework later, or?
Homework today is to play with what I've taught you.
Okay.
And write down your observations, what you've noticed. So play with positions of comfort, play with your neck, find out, okay, so I'm just going to take my neck one way. Okay, that's my comfy spot. So I'm just going to give myself that little bit of pressure there and slowly move away back to my other side. There's my yawn. There's my freedom. Okay, so play with positions of comfort, play with, releasing the shoulders, releasing behind the shoulders, little twists, simple movements, nothing fancy, nothing complicated. And play with them during the day while you're on the phone, while you're reading a book, saying, oh, okay, my shoulders are tight. Okay, what happens if I scrunch them up? What happens if I let them down? What if I take them backwards? What if I take them forward? Where is it comfortable? And just play. Tell us what you find out. I'll be fascinated. Thank you, everyone. We've gone way over time. I really thank you for your participation and your enthusiasm. It's great. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll put the homework up in the page.
Thanks, Vicki.
Bye now.